How's it going, everyone? Nick Salzman here, tattoo medium. Get a chance to do some tattoos and help people with spiritual related issues. We're going to talk a little bit about sleepwalking today and a little bit how that relates with some of the shapeshifters that we've talked about in some of my previous videos. So this is kind of a paranormal story. So I had a lady that came in, I was tattooing her, and some of the stuff that I was picking up on, right, would be what I would consider jinn activity or non-human activity. Some of the stuff that is really prevalent is usually like anxiety in the home, or maybe even the smoke alarms are going off, things are disappearing and reappearing in other places. Bangs, sounds, this kind of stuff. So either way, as I'm tattooing her, this is what I'm picking up on, right? And she started telling me about how her son would sleepwalk. And so I said, okay, because I know sleepwalking is a thing. There's people out there that sleepwalk. But listen to this real quick. So when she would see her son sleepwalk, he wouldn't walk. He would move very quick. He would actually almost like run, and it would be in between rooms, right? No one else in the house ever saw him sleepwalk except for her. And any time that she went to check on him, he was already back in bed. Okay, so this also correlates with a story from a lady that I helped in like Ohio, who basically would wake up and her kid would be in her room staring at her, and she'd say, "What are you doing? Go back to bed." And he'd take off, and she'd go check on him, and he was already back asleep in bed. Well, this kid started seeing his mom in his room in the middle of the night staring at him, and eventually he was like, "Mom, what are you doing?" And she wouldn't talk to him, right? And so he would get up after she walked out of the room, and he'd get up and walk all the way down the hall. Right? She was right in the room and walked out, and he followed her, and she was gone, and she was all the way asleep in her bedroom. So seeing people move at night and finding them still asleep, what is this, right? This is what we were talking about earlier with the shapeshifters that can actually look like people, talk like people, and act like people. In the Quran, they're called the Quadrain. The Quadrain is a shapeshifter that mimics people. It can sound like them, it can talk like them, it can move like them. Have you guys ever had where you're in a house, or you hear a story of someone in a house and like someone comes home or someone leaves, but that person was already at work like 6 hours ago or something? This is where it all ties in. So it's important to understand this presence so that way you can live above the influence, because what happens is these things can imitate certain scenarios in our dreams too that can really put us in a really funky state. See somebody we love cheating on us, killing somebody, doing something bad, right? We wake up feeling all funky, and this is the kind of energy that is sustenance for them to feed off of, right? So what we have to do is be able to recognize this so that way we can live above the influence. Because this stuff, when people start seeing things that they're not sure is real or not because it seems so real, this is where psychosis comes in. This is where mental diseases and disorders come in, okay? So either way, I think this is a good story you guys should know about. The doppelganger, the Quadrain, the shapeshifter, the jinn, the demon. So either way, hope you guys enjoy the content. Let me know what you think in the comments below.